Hey folks, how are we doing here? It's Mr. Carter, ready to do Home Link 113. Go ahead and put your name on this if you haven't yet already, and let's begin. Okay, so we are working on finding the perimeter today, and again, here's some few notes on how to get that. Well, the perimeter is when you add all four sides of a rectangle. You'll find the perimeter of a rectangle, and there's a formula here. It's the length, plus the width plus the width. Or you can also do length plus width times 2, and that will also get it to the answer. Or you can just go 2 times the length times or plus 2 times the width. All those will work to help you find that. So let's look at number 1. Number 1 is a rectangle with 8 feet by 7 feet. So we're going to add, to find the perimeter, 8 plus 8. That'll give us the width times the width, and then 7 plus 7, and that'll give us the length, because again, we're just adding all the way around because opposite side is the same. So 8 plus 8 is 16, 7 plus 7 is 14, and when you add 16 plus 14 together, you get a total of 30. So the answer here is 30. So I'm going to show you a different way to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and double the width and double the length and figure it out that way. So double the length over here would be 12 plus 12 is 24. So I'm just going to go 24. 9 plus 9, or 9 times 2 is 18. So I'm just going to add those up. 8 plus 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the answer is 42. So go ahead and do 3 and 4 on your own. See how you do with that, and use whatever formula works for you. Number 5 is saying here we have a perimeter of a garden that's 42 feet, and the length is 15 feet. So what's the width? So I drew a picture here to kind of help me figure this out. Show you here. So again, we got a rectangle here with the length of 15. We don't know what the width is. We know that the perimeter is 42 feet. So I'm going to add what we know first. So we know that it's 15 feet on this side. That means it's 15 feet on this side. So 15 plus 15 is 30. So we know that the width altogether has to be 30. But now we have to divide 30 by 2. Or actually, first what we've got to do is we've got to figure out that the perimeter is 42 feet. So we're going to take that total 42 feet and subtract it from what's left. So if we know that all the way around is 42 feet, and we know that what's left after we subtract our length is 30. So that's 2 take away 0 is 2. 4 take away 3 is 1. So we know that what is left for both sides is 12. So now what we need to do is we need to take that 12 and divide it equally in 2. So we know that 12 divided by 2 is 6 if we cut 12 in half. So it would be 6 on this side, 6 on that side. And when you add all those up, you should get 42 feet. Okay. So the answer is 6 feet. All right, our practice is asking us to round to the nearest, first of all, 10,000 and then 100,000. So let's do 6 first. So that number for number 6 was 421,492. So to round to the nearest 10,000, I'm going to do what I like to call the stop sign method. And I'm going to put our stop sign under the 10,000ths place, which is our 2 here. That's where it's going to tell us to stop. So we're going to rewrite everything up to the stop sign. So we're going to rewrite that 4. And once we get to the stop sign, the 2, we got to ask ourselves, okay, what's the boss telling us to do? We've got to stop and think. So the boss here is that number after, which is a 1. And again, when it's 5 and above, you give this digit a shove. But since it's a 1, we're going to leave it alone. So we're going to leave it at 2, and then all the digits after the stop sign become 0. So 1 becomes a 0, Don't forget your comma. This 4 becomes a 0. The 9 becomes a 0. The 2 becomes a 0. So 420,000 when you round to the nearest 10,000. Okay, now to round to the nearest 100,000, you're going to put your stop sign under the 100,000. So we're going to stop right away. We don't have to rewrite anything. We're just going to stop. And we're going to look at what our boss is. Our boss is the 2 this time. Well, again, 5 and above, give it a shove. Since it's a 2, we're going to leave it alone. We're going to leave it the same. So it's going to be 4. And everything after the stop sign becomes a 0. That 2 becomes a 0. 1 becomes a 0. Don't forget your comma. 4 becomes a 0, 9, and 2 all become 0. So it's 400,000 when you round to the closest 100,000. Okay, let's look at number 7. So again, the number here is 895,531, and we're going to round to the nearest 10,000s first. So we're going to put our stop sign under the 10,000s. So again, you're going to rewrite everything up to the stop sign. So you're going to rewrite the 8, and you're going to stop. Then you're going to ask yourself, okay, what's the boss telling us to do? Well, it's a 5, so 5 and above, give it a shove. So now we come to a little bit of a problem, because if we give this digit a shove, it's a 9. That means it's going to be go up to 10, which means that we technically need to change this 8 and move it up another place value. So now it's going to become a 9. And then it becomes a 0, because what we did when we made it a 10, we just kind of added a 1 to that 100,000s place. And now that 9 becomes a 0. That's the because we bumped it up. 5 becomes a 0. 5 becomes another 0. 3 becomes a 0. So does the 1. So it's 900,000. Okay. Now, we're going to round this to the nearest 100,000. So now our stop sign goes here. So again, since it's we stop right away, we ask, okay, what's our boss telling us to do? The boss is the 9. We'll go above, or it's 5 and above, give it a shove, so that makes it a 9. And everything after the stop sign becomes zeros. So it's also 900,000. Okay. I want to go back and talk about this one here, because this one might still be a little bit confusing. If you drew a number line, and we're going to the nearest 10,000, so we would have, let's say 890,000, and then we would have 900,000. Okay, and right here is this 5 and above given a shove, so that would be 8,000. I say 895,000. It's kind of our midway point between 890 and 900,000. Well, if you were to place this number, 895,531, on the number line, it would be just right about here after our 895,000. So this would be 895,531. So that's closer to 900,000 than it is 890,000. So again, that's another way to look at it. That's why it's 900,000. All right, that's it for now. If you have any questions, come see me. Take care.